Hello everyone. Cell, the unit of life. In this part of this chapter, we'll be studying about the structure and function of the chloroplast. Chloroplast or green plastid or green pigment containing plastid is a very important organelle for the plant cell. Ordinarily, there may be 40 to 50 chloroplast per cell. Chloroplasts are located in the mesophyll cells between the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis of the leaf. That is the palisade and the spongy mesophyll cells. Chloroplasts are also present in the guard cell of the stomata and in the outer layer of the young green stems. Okay, before starting with the structure, let me tell you, chloroplast, the first definitive description of the chloroplast was given by Hugo von Mohl in 1837 as the discrete bodies in the green plant cell. Then in 1883, Schimper called these discrete bodies as the chloroplastids, while in 1884, Strasburger coined the term chloroplast. Okay, chloroplast. Chloroplasts are minute oval bodies bounded by a double membrane, the outer membrane and the inner membrane. So outer membrane, it has less of the proteins and it is permeable membrane. While the inner membrane, it has more of the proteins. We can write here, it has more proteins and it is selectively permeable, or else we can also call it as a semi-permeable, like the way we have the this cell membrane. Right. The structure is similar to the mitochondria, which is a double membranous structure. But the only difference is in the mitochondria, the inner membrane is folded, right? Folded inside, and these infolds are known as the cristae. While in the chloroplast, the inner membrane is not folded, but yes, there are few infolds which are connected to some bag-like structure, and these bag-like structures are known as thylakoid. These basically they are the sites for the light reaction, or we can also call as the light dependent reaction. These are the flattened sac in which chlorophyll is present. Now, these are piled up or stacked one over the other, and this stack is known as the grana, or we can say granum as a singular form. Now, these thylakoids are connected to the inner membrane and with each other as well, with the help of stroma lamella. All these grana and the thylakoids, the same thing. The thylakoids stack is known as the granum. These lie in the ground substance, the fluid ground substance, or the matrix, which we call as the stroma. So this stroma is the matrix. Now, the way mitochondria has their own DNA and ribosomes, similarly even in the chloroplast they have their own DNA, which is a circular DNA, and they have their own ribosomes. As well. So we can also call that these chloroplasts are the autonomous structures. Right. So here we are done with the structure of the chloroplast, and you can see that I have shown these thylakoids with the green color. The green color is because of the presence of chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll is present in the walls of the thylakoid. Chlorophyll. What does chlorophyll do? Chlorophyll, when it receives sunlight, it gets excited, it releases few electrons, which in turn recycle into the electron transport chain and then help in the glucose production. Finally, the glucose production is the target, and which is a primary function of the chloroplast, and this glucose is produced by the process of photosynthesis in the plants. Now see here, the photosynthesis. The first stage of photosynthesis occurs in the thylakoids because their chlorophyll is present. chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight get excited, releases the electron, and along with the water, it reaches to the dark stage of photosynthesis. Right, here in the light reaction, oxygen is being produced because of the water, and the electrons, they move to this electron transport chain, which is the second stage of photosynthesis, or the dark reaction, or the light independent reaction. Here it needs light. It is a light dependent reaction or the light reaction, whereas this is the light independent reaction or the dark reaction. It does not need light. And here carbon dioxide is used as a primary source for the glucose production. In the chloroplast, we can also see some chlorophyll, sugar granules as well. Not as such sugar, but it is stored in the form of starch. Starch is a complex polysaccharide. Now, I hope you are clear with it. And the name given to this cycle is the Kelvin cycle, which we'll be doing in the higher class. Right. I hope now you all are clear with the structure and the function of the chloroplast. Just to recapitulate what we have studied, chloroplast is a double membrane structure. It is an autonomous structure which has its own DNA and ribosomes. Then it has a fluid-like substance, that is the stroma. And in that stroma, there lies the flattened sac-like structures, thylakoids, and many thylakoids are stacked together to form the granum. All these thylakoids are connected to the inner membrane of the chloroplast and among each other with the help of stroma lamina. Right? And I hope you all are clear with it. Thank you so much.